11 Prime movie, normally scheduled at this time, will not be seen tonight, so we can bring you the following special program.
Took the shot, rebound, he scores! Roll the highlight film.
Yeah! Here we go now, here we go now, here we go now, here we go.
Like the sun for the champion, we're in control, body and soul. We push ourselves to the maximum. The champions, we are the champions.
Everybody knows that Brahmas champion.
Done for the champions.
2017 Robertson Cup Champion, Lone Star Brahmas. And if that intro does not get you fired up for this podcast, we aren't exactly sure what is. Nick, Chad, Megan, the gang's all here with you. Guys, we are Robertson Cup, or rather the team's Robertson Cup champions.
Right.
But
We did nothing
nothing
on the ice.
No.
We witnessed it, though.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it.
It was a blast.
Does that count?
All the weekends we gave up,
No.
worth it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Longest season in Brahmas history ever. Started in in August.
Yes.
Finished in mid-May.
Love that.
It's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Shortest summer in the whole league, eh?
That's a very long, very long season. So, yes, it has been many weekends given up, and here we are.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, man, that feels weird to start off that way with championship. We have so much to go over in this podcast episode, so bear with us. Go get a snack, get a drink, get an alcoholic beverage if you're of age. We're definitely going to have some fun talking a little Brahmas action, but first and foremost, obviously the championship's great. Hopefully the fans got a chance to get a picture with the Robertson Cup when it was in Zaromas. It's obviously going to be in our possession for a little while this summer before the league, I think, will end up taking it over. But I'm sure it'll make its rounds back here a couple of times. Like when the new crop comes in, they'll probably get a chance to see it. And
Yeah, I think we have it till the playoffs start next year.
Oh, there you go.
They might take it. Was it at the showcase last year? Did you see it?
It usually has to show up for, like,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
events. So
Yeah.
we're responsible for carting that around, I think.
we'll also has to be off for a little bit to obviously get the names engraved.
Correct.
So
Correct.
there will be some period when it's going to be missing. So don't worry, it's not lost.
But yeah, it'll make its rounds. Like it'll visit a few of our sponsors. When we won it with the Central Hockey League, I mean, we had a day with it at NRH2O.
Yep.
It was out there.
Go down the water slide.
I hear it's been down water slides already this year.
Slip and slides, maybe. Water slides, not sure.
So yeah, it'll be around, and it'll definitely be out for opening night. And we got the cup, so
We got the
if you want to see it, we can make that happen.
Yeah, it's really insane. I think it's really cool too. I wasn't a part of the 08-09 championship, obviously, but you hear so many things about it now. I think it's kind of cool that this will be a part of Brahmas history, obviously, forever. And not the other seasons aren't, but everybody looks back at championship years. And this one, it's almost like no offense to the 2014 Lone Star Brahmas that brought us to the first semifinals, but it's going to take a little dock when you have champions 2 years later. But it was cool. I actually talked to some of the guys from that 14 team. They were messaging me during that weekend, and they were like, man, I really wish we could be back and playing in this. So it's kind of cool to see all the Brahma alumni family check it out on Hockey TV and really rooting on their
a lot
fellow
of them
team.
here during that Game 5 against Corpus. We had several guys here. We had Steiner, Johan Steen.
God,
I
you're
think
right.
Wasn't Chad Gadarian cited?
Yeah, Steen, Gadarian, Madej,
Yeah,
Berg.
Madej. Surprise coming in from.
Yeah, apparently he was in here for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
I saw him for like 10 seconds. I'm like, oh, we got to catch up. And he's like,
Hey.
oh, I got to catch my flight. And I'm like, huh? Yeah, I just flew in for the day. I wanted to see the game. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Sounds good.
So it's dedication. Once a Brahma, always a Brahma. And that 08-09 team, those guys are talked about still today as if it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Around here
Yeah.
with the fans. And so this group, this 16-17 group, has now ingrained themselves in much the same
Brahmas lore.
Brahmas lore. There
You know,
you go.
you know what they say, right? They brought the juice.
They did.
They did bring the juice.
Do that.
So not totally shocked that we won. I mean, we won 44 regular season games. So
90 points.
I'm no mathematician, but that's definitely more than half of them.
Touche.
That is not incorrect.
That is not incorrect. Yeah, so it's awesome. I mean, for the fans that are still a little pissed off that it was in Minnesota, I hear you. I don't think anything's going to change for next year.
No.
You know, keep your voices heard, and maybe somewhere down the road that we'll go back to a regular playoff system where the championship would be in a location of one of the teams actually in the championship. But hey, there were some good parties in Zaroma. You guys missed. There were some good parties in Zaroma.
We saw pictures.
Mhm.
People were sending us pictures, and it was really cool to see while we were up there.
I believe there's a video floating around of Mikey Duffy losing his mind when the championship was won. That's awesome. It's good to see the joy of a child celebrating what's probably his first championship of any team he's followed. His dad's an Islanders fan, so I
no.
doubt that there's
Oh,
Hard no there.
sorry, good old William Duffy.
Love them. Love the Duffys. And love everybody that coming out to support in Zaroma. That's good. The coverage was good. HD feed. You could hear Nick Merrick booming around the hall.
Booming and hoarse by the end of it.
Yeah. So everybody got to hear your championship call. Lots of media updates from you guys. Megan was doing a good job keeping the fans apprised of the goings-on in Minnesota. And what was it like up there? We don't know. We being me and everybody else listening. What was it like up in Duluth?
I loved the rink. I loved where it was at. I know that the neutral site has its disadvantages for sure, but as far as a place to be, that was a really cool rink. There was a lot of history behind it, and
Yep.
it was the perfect size, I think, for what the NAL championship was. It wasn't overly crowded, or it didn't look empty ever really. I don't know. I just thought it was a really cool atmosphere the whole time we were there. They did a good job with it.
I would agree. I love the rink as well. The
like an
vibe
old-
in that small one.
old,
yeah,
like,
it's a
barn
little.
or
Honestly,
something?
it's weird. It's a little bit of an older place on the exterior, but the inside, because they kept it with this brick look theme throughout, which obviously some people saw on when they watched the game online, but it didn't look as old as the exterior of the building. So it was obviously renovated since then. You can clearly tell that the bleachers were in good shape. The size of the rink was in good shape. The conditions, I think, were fairly good from what we saw from at least heard from the players. I remember you and I were looking at the condition of it in that first game before us, and we were like, "Are there any soft spots or anything to keep an eye on, or divots?" But it was fun. The location in terms of Duluth, I love it. But
It was really pretty. The lake is right there, and it was
Yes.
beautiful.
But in terms of what it's for with the NAHL purposes, I wish they would go out of the state of Minnesota. I know it's the state of hockey, but there's a ton of places in Michigan. There's a ton of spots in Illinois, Iowa.
Hey, we've got a guest here in Studio 25. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Walfong has joined the program. Dan Walfong.
I always wonder what goes on up here. This is great. Nice to be up here.
We just talk
Thanks for
hockey
having
24/7.
Oh,
24/7.
awesome.
Dan, how's it feel to be champion again?
Pretty good, Chad, but I haven't had a chance to even sit back and really think of what happened here. So we're excited, though.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, but Dan had a one-day off season.
What day was that?
The flight home.
Yeah, the 4 hours we had before we left, the 5-hour morning flight.
Well, Dan, what was your thought? We were talking about, when you walked in, we were talking about the rink in Duluth. What do you think about that? Was that a cool...
I thought it was a great atmosphere. I think if you went and played in the big building that they have downtown, it wouldn't have been the atmosphere that we were hoping for. It was perfect because, obviously when it's a neutral location, there's, billet families and parents there and a lot of scouts. But other than that, you don't have, your busloads of fans coming from North Richland Hills, filling the place. So I thought it was awesome, good atmosphere, really up-to-date building, and it was fun.
And Dan, we're talking about how the guys from 08-09 championship year, those guys are still talked about as if it happened yesterday. And so now this group from 16-17 kind of vaults in that same. I mean,
it's a good point. I got some inside little information on that. So, Matt Quinn.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember Matt Quinn
Quinner,
or not.
absolutely.
Really big part of our championship team. He made up a really nice video for all the guys, and we watched it just before our first game there in Duluth. And I said, "Hey, now you're going to be the next generation to do this." And we really, the guys saw it, and they saw the atmosphere of it and what it was like to win and to be remembered. And we talked about all that stuff. So, like, when you're a winner, you're etched in stone forever here. So it's going to be nice that we'll be raising the banner here at the beginning of the season.
That is correct. They say, this is so cheesy, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
I played a lot of horseshoes.
Did you? I played with a lot of hand grenades, so I can agree.
You win.
No, that's great. I do remember that video from Quinner, and he was one of those guys that was not first line or even second line. He's just a grinder but everybody plays a part. Everybody's part of the team, and without each one of those guys putting in their contributions, we wouldn't have been there.
I think that's what was so similar about both teams is that guys really bought into the roles. You had, the Kessel line that obviously those guys were to score goals, and you had same with Kelly's line.
Yep.
But then you had the other couple lines knew that they had to be responsible with pucks and be physical. And it was like the Greg McConnell when we won with the pro team. Like, he was a huge part of the team. I still bring his name up because no one wanted to do what he wanted to do, and I thought O'Rourke did the same thing for us. Like, he just was very physical and did his job better than any guy in the league. He did his job to a T, and that's what McConnell did. Like, you notice a lot of their D were checking their shoulders, looking over. They're going, "Who the hell is this guy coming?" And you need those guys, and if they don't buy in and they want to all be goal scorers, you'll never win.
And another thing you need a goaltender that keeps the puck out of the net clearly, and Prozic did that for you.
I think very similar thing too. Like, we had timely saves. I don't think he had to stand on his head or anything, but he made those key timely saves. Like Jagger, we'd give up one breakaway or one big chance, and Jagger would make the saves. And I think Prozic did the same thing. Like, he made those one or two big timely saves. And it's not like he had a huge body of, like, getting peppered, but he made those big saves, and then those are momentum changers. Like, if they score on those, it's a whole different ballgame.
Well, this is great that we actually have the head honcho of the whole team in here for an impromptu message, because we were just going to get to the point of talking about your pre-draft camp and getting excited for the NHL and AHL draft, coming up next Tuesday. But now that you're here, we don't have to even talk for you. I'm sure you're pretty thrilled to get.
I don't
the
have to make up a quote for you.
Yeah.
Well, the draft in Chicago, or the pre-draft camp, went really well. I thought, we had 6 teams, and it was very competitive. Normally, I have to go down there in the locker rooms after the first day and go, "Guys, is this all you got? You don't have a hope to make our team." And then they usually give it a little bit more, and we see more. But I did not have to say that once down there. I was really impressed with a lot of their ability, making plays with the puck, but also competing was through the roof. So, and then my new assistant coach here,
Yeah, Dan, do you want to? We're gonna break that on the podcast. Why don't you tell the world who's the new assistant coach?
Okay, it's Megan Kemp.
I've been moonlighting. It's been fun.
Megan's been filling in
We need to
for
teach her how to
us,
skate.
and she's been unbelievable. I honestly, I'm so busy that if she wasn't down there would be things that would be falling behind big time. So I thank you very much.
Anytime, Dan. I'm here.
But it's going to be Justin Hale is going to be our new assistant coming in. He's not actually going to be here probably till another 3 weeks. He's out scouting for us. Right now he's going to USHL camps, which we need to be at before the draft. Very excited about this young man. He was a Bemidji.
Nice.
And he obviously was he was one of the assistants there that was unpaid, and he was just trying to work his way up. And now he's here, and we're very excited. I think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be here with us long. He's like a lot of us that we could go to other places, but he's a very sharp guy.
And so, with Hale coming in, this is going to be a new era behind the bench. How'd you guys ran across each other in scouting last year? Or?
How'd we find him? No, I have a good relationship with a lot of coaches in college, and Bemidji, both the coaches called me and said, hey, if you are looking, I heard Al's leaving. This guy would be fantastic. So after talking to him, and then he actually made another step that I really like, is he drove 2 hours to come meet us at pre-draft camp. Just to do a face-to-face. He did not have to do that. He did that on his own.
That's awesome.
It just kind of shows you the commitment that he has here. And obviously he's coming in with his wife, and she's a teacher, I believe, and she's going to be looking for a job here. So anyone out there that knows, a teaching job, so please let us know.
That's awesome. So we'll welcome Coach Hale to the mix. Yeah. And look forward to seeing all the guys he's scouting. It's gonna be good. You ready for the draft?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Good answer,
Obviously, when you look at it, like it does take a lot of research, a lot of time to make sure you're ready for this thing. So
Can confirm that.
I think that we really want to get eyes on them ourselves, and Al was doing some of that, but we're starting to do a lot of that now, and Al put a nice list together for us. But it's at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what we see at these USHL camps, and I think we're going to be fine. If you just have to get the character guys, it's not always the best guys. I don't think we had the best players necessarily. We had the best character that won, and if we get that good mix, we'll be fine.
And that goes back to what we said earlier, where we said this was the longest year in Brahmas history, with guys reporting in August and going to May. But for Dan, it's just one. It's just well, that's all because of you. The season went that long, but it's just one continuous. People think that you're out playing golf and fishing, and I know you would rather be.
When I do get a little sleep, that's what I'm thinking about. So it doesn't mean I'm doing it.
Yeah, just don't win any championships, then you can golf all you want, right?
No.
Well, it's
the new message. I'm just kidding.
It's the behind-the-scenes commitment that fans don't see. They know that long hours are put in during the season, but it's these times in May and June that.
Well, I'm kind of interested in what Megan thinks, because she's kind of got a glimpse of what it's like down there. So I want to interest and see what your thoughts are when you first went down there.
It's like unbelievable how many names are like floating around. Like I'm looking at these spreadsheets and stuff, and like my eyes are swimming. Like by the end of like my time, I'm like, I don't even know. And like people will say names, and I'm like, I know I saw that like 600 like rows ago. Like scroll back up, Command F. It's like a lot of behind the scenes work. Like I don't think you can like know what it takes to put together a team until you've like sat there and watched it happen. But it's a lot of legwork, and it's a lot of phone calls. Like I'm down that office, and Dan is like literally like an endless string of calls. Like as soon as he hangs up, he's like, "Oh, I missed 2 calls," and then he has to call those people back, and it's just like an endless process. And I'm like sitting there, and I'm like.
But it's fun, I think that's the biggest thing is when you do build a winner. It's like you up here, Chad, getting a big deal.
Getting a big deal, yeah. There's a lot of time put into those deals.
That's
They
right.
don't
Just happen overnight. And
people don't walk in the door and say, "Hey, I have $10,000 in my hand. What can I
but
get
if
for
they
it?"
do, please call Chad Seaworth, please,
Yeah,
right away.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, I got to go. I got to make some calls. But
All
thank
right,
you guys
that's
for
it.
having me.
Dan missed 3 calls during that time with us, but it's always great to see Fonger, the man, the myth, the legend himself. See, you never know who will stop in Studio 25. Last episode, it was
you literally heard
Frank
the Studio
Trezera.
25 doors go there, too.
You did. This is
Literally
the
uncut.
production
Raw.
value. win the championship, and already it's just boom, boom. Look, we've got a new setup. We've got a studio name. Guests are happening.
We should put uncut, uncensored, but just don't drop any F-bombs on us here, Chad.
I'll-
I don't think we have to yell about anything today. That's good.
Yeah, no, there's
Or
nothing.
do
to
we?
there's nothing to be mad about.
Just like excited yelling, not like
Yeah.
angry yelling. You
like
know?
you know,
like
fuck yeah, that kind of thing. You know, not fuck you. You know,
correct.
Exactly.
That's
different.
exactly it.
I hope you'll
The
bleep those.
F
Nick.
yeah versus F you. You know, it's a big
Somewhere
difference.
around 19 minutes. Probably, I think. So Dan filled us in on the pre-draft camp.
There we go. We were pretty much going to fake the quotes for him. Well, not fake them. We talked to him, but we were going to pretty much come up here and just be like, oh, yeah, here's what he said. But there we go. We got the words right out of the horse's mouth.
We know who our new coach is.
Congratulations. Welcome to Brahmaland, Justin Hill. We're
And-
excited to have you.
And you know, but to close up that championship moment we were talking about in the beginning, what favorite playoff moment? We always go around the horn and talk about a favorite moment, if you will, or favorite this, that, or the other. So what was your favorite moment in the playoffs, Nick?
Oh, boy. I guess I could preface this for Megan and I because I can't just say winning the cup in the final game. But to be fair, being able to work a championship game and then hop on the ice, it was a very, very cool moment. I'll never forget that one ever. So in terms of favorite moment, that one's the one that's going to stick with me forever. But that's kind of a cop-out answer, so I'll throw that aside. People could ask us about that if they want. But nobody really cares. They care more about the players, which I don't blame them. I think favorite moment has to be the Corpus Christi series, Game 5 in Brahmaland with basically 24-hour notice that there's going to be a Game 5. This place being absolutely packed. So huge shout out there to you, Chad, obviously, and to Scott, and to everybody with the Brahmas for pushing out the junior Brahmas kids and bringing some schools out. Whoever else was involved in that process, I know you two are the biggest in that. Obviously Frank as well, but he's involved with everything. I thought the atmosphere was fantastic, and literally every guy finally was like, "Wow, like that crowd was really something." Like they always know there's something about playing for Brahmaland, but when you get a crowd like that and they see it being packed, like, wow, these fans really come here to see us, and they think we could do it. That got him over the edge. But the reason why it was a cool moment was obviously it was a 0-0 game. And hometown hero Troy York, who is sensational, and literally, probably Dan would never say it because I know every player has a part, and he's completely right. But Troy York literally willed the Brahmas to the Final Four, no doubt. He scored half the team goals against Vomachka. He knew him, and that's a goalie, by the way. That Megan and I are going to be in Chicago for the NHL draft. I'd be shocked if he was any lower than the 3rd round draft pick to the NHL, which would be ridiculous. So the Brahmas beat that to get their championship.
The 14th ranked goaltender in North America, according to the Central Scouting.
And that is why we pay Megan the big bucks to have those numbers at the wheel. She does not have a computer or phone in front of her. That's just straight from her head. Boom. Nice. So
also shout out York Selly on that goal too. It was great.
It was.
What did he do? Did he do the bow and arrow?
No.
He did. I kind of wish he had done that, but it's good.
He just lost his mind and literally just threw his hands in the air and
started sprinting
towards
Max on
Prodzik.
the other end. It was really nice.
Well,
we have a cool picture of that.
And
Thank you, Rebecca.
And that was a great game. That's definitely, top 3 games ever played in this building. I mean,
there's so many good moments in this playoff too. And I know we kind of planned this guy out. We had to think about which our favorite moment was, but we each threw out like 4 or 5 that we could have put as our one.
Oh yeah,
so
there's a lot.
It's not like there's just there's 2 good moments. Like there were at least
like
half a dozen good moments.
What about you, Megan? What do you think of favorite playoff moment?
Okay, so there was one. So I'll just I like have like 5 right now, like Nick said.
See?
But I'll go. Yeah. So I'm sorry that this is probably a cop out because I am gonna do it in Duluth. But what happened was I was still up in the press box with Nick, and there's like the seconds are ticking down, and I like look up and like Troy scores. So he scores the empty net, and like I look and I'm like, oh, I like want to get down on the bench and like get this on like the Snapchat is like what I was thinking. So I like look at Nick and I'm like, Nick is talking, so I'm just like mouthing to him like, I'm gonna go down there. I'm like pointing and miming, and Nick's just like, yeah. He's just like nodding but continuing to talk.
Go.
Yeah, Nick was like, go. So like So, like, to get down to, like, the bench, you kind of have to do this weird route where you have to, like, go all the way to the other end, sprint back all the way around, so you, like, double back. So you're basically doing a lap of the rink. And I'm, like, looking, and there's, like, 54 seconds. And I was like, I hope they ice the puck once or twice. Like, I hope we get some stoppages. So I'm, like, sprinting down.
Shout out Zenas.
Yeah. So I'm sprinting down, and I, like, get there, and there's, like, 17 seconds left, I think, something like that. And, like, we go, and, like, all the guys are, like, ready to, like, just pour over the boards. And I'm, like, curled up like in the back of the bench, like with Rebecca being our photographer. Shout out Rebecca, thanks for coming with us, it was really fun. So I'm like crouched in the corner, I'm like ready to start like recording for the Snapchat, and like Trevor Zenas like ices the puck, and there's like 4.7 seconds left, and like everyone is like halfway over the boards, and someone just goes, F you, Zenas, and it just like rings out across the bench, and everyone just like cracks up, and they take the final face off back right in front of the bench, and we win that. And it was pretty funny. Like, Rebecca and I were looking at, like, videos, like, different fan videos and stuff of, like, the moment that we did that. And it's pretty funny because Zim just throws off his gloves. His stick goes flying, like, before the buzzer sounds. Like, he was the last Brahma to touch the puck. He just, like, takes it off the glass, and everything's flying off. Like, Jack throws up his helmet and it almost comes down and hits him. Like, Max is hopping in goal. Like, it was like...
Adamo probably could have got another suspension for the hit he made.
Yeah, like, I'm like literally like no time left. And like after that, they talked to those Aston guys, and he was like, what did you hit me for? And Adamo goes down, we played to the final whistle. And it was all in all like a good experience. Like, that was my favorite moment probably, just because there was like a lot of exuberant like energy like down on the bench. Like, everyone was just like hyped up.
Yeah.
Incredibly so.
No, I agree. That was the goalie too. You knew like this is it. Like there's no sorry, but there's no comeback anymore when Troy got that. So.
Well, I would definitely say for me, playoff moment would be Game 4 in McKinney. That was the Glover overtime goal, correct?
Yes.
And you know, it's only good for me because the season couldn't end in that rink. I mean, that's an absolute joke. The fact that we already hammered it, beat it like a dead horse, but absolute joke of a rink for a playoff deciding game to be. And thank God that Glover put it in the net, and we didn't see our season end in McKinney in a practice rink in front of 200 fans. Shout out to the 200 fans that made the trip, but that would have been just an absolute
what a buzzkill.
Complete. That'd be like getting up in a hot air balloon and then it slowly deflating, just slowly, like it would be terrible. So, and then having 24 hours to fill that other game was tough, but they'll come if the season is on the line. They'll be there, and those fans, you talked about the atmosphere, Nick, for the Game 5. It's not even a favorite playoff moment of mine, but just those fans were here for that moment. They're not here just because they got tickets from so-and-so's uncle, or they got a Groupon
This
deal.
looks fun.
Hey, the Brahmas are playing. Why not? We are here because the season is on the line, and everybody was into it.
No doubt.
Awesome. And then, unfortunately, this is a side effect sometimes of championships and being good and whatnot, is there's a little bit of movement. Dan is not going anywhere, but as he prefaced earlier, Al Rooney is out. Of course, we all know that. There's been much discussion of it. It's been in social media and whatnot. Rooney is now the associate head coach with the Austin Bruins, not Austin, Texas. For those of you still confused, Austin, Minnesota.
I had to ask Nick about that. Like, when I first started, I was like,
so many
Austin
people
here? And he was like, no, Minnesota. And I was like, that makes sense.
It's actually funny, too. A side note, we have a group chat with or at least not all of them, but a good portion of the broadcasters in the NAHL. And, of course, the Austin Bruins guy, Michael Keeley's in that, too. And it was a good discussion that was kind of spearheaded between Colin Shuck of Corpus and Keeley of Austin. And they were having conversations about the word Austin, and they both were like, yeah, pretty much we think Austin is our Austin. And then, like, for Keeley, who lives in Austin, Minnesota, he's like, yeah, the Austin, Texas is like the other Austin. And that's how obviously Colin, Chuck, and I and everybody in this room, the opposite. We're like, what? No, Austin, Texas is actually a real big city.
It's an actual city.
That's like what
No
people
shade,
know.
but-
Like,
There's more than 1 million people there.
right.
And one of the largest
Rather-
schools in the country.
True. Rather than just like a suburb of
the music
of the bigger
scene
city.
on point.
That's
On
true.
point. Everything about Austin's on point.
But it's funny. So there you go. So he's gonna be a Bruin.
He's gonna be a Bruin, and good luck to Coach Rooney. He has been in Minnesota before. I think he's a big fan of it, and
Yeah.
that's a good team. That's a young team. I mean, he'll have success pretty early on there, and who knows? Maybe we'll meet him again in the showcase.
That's true.
That'd be fun. Yeah, that
Actually,
would
we
that would be
have-
fun. We played him, I think, this year though,
Yeah,
didn't we?
Oh yeah,
I
you're
think we
right.
did. So we
did
might.
just
So we
play him.
might not play them next year.
we might not.
I
but
don't know how they do that.
We probably wouldn't then. But still pretty cool. Well, we did play him obviously, and then we played him in the semifinals a few years ago.
Yeah. So there's Rooney on his way.
Yep.
Best of luck to Coach Rooney, and
Hey, enjoy your winners. I know
Yeah.
you've been wanting him. He's been wanting him.
well, he'll get it. There's no doubt about it.
Maybe he'll get a white Christmas too.
And tying into the NA3HL team, along with Coach Rooney, will go his son Sly.
Yep.
So our Texas Junior Brahmas NA3HL team will lose one of its forwards. Sly's season ended a little early with an ankle injury. He broke his ankle, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like.
It was pretty bad.
It was a pretty bad
Yeah.
That
injury.
was rough.
So he missed the back half of the season.
Darn.
But he was putting up some points early on.
You know, what I just realized
What's that?
we aren't gonna have the reigning Rooney of the year coming back.
We are not going to have the Rooney. For those of you not familiar with that random comment thrown out by Nick Merrick and I are the award-winning broadcast duo of NA3HL Monday afternoon games. When there's a Monday afternoon NA3HL game,
We're the team.
we are on it. And
Tune in. Do
it
not miss it.
is
Don't.
a party. I can tell you that. It is a good time. And so we look forward to getting the sponsorship wagon back up and rolling. Hopefully we'll have another FarmersOnly.com empty net goal of the game.
That was beautiful. That was literally beautiful. Tears were coming out of my eyes after that one.
You know. So,
but the Rooney of the game was Sly Rooney was named the Rooney of the game
Correct.
for one of those Monday games. So
he was named the Rooney of the game. There's
so he's the
another-
reigning champ, and he's not coming back to defend his title. I'm kind of
Yep.
disappointed with that.
And no relation to Wayne Rooney of Manchester United, as we mentioned on the broadcast. But
But he is related to Al Rooney.
this is correct.
And Corinne Rooney. And Annika Rooney.
Absolutely.
So there are several Roonies.
And-
He is
And Jim
related to.
Rooney.
Jim Rooney, yes.
Jim
Yes.
Rooney, who is, of course, a world-class soccer player and coach, but no relation to Wayne Rooney. So anyway, enough Rooney talk. We move into college commitments. A lot of people had talked about, a lot of fans had asked about where some of the players are going. You know, when you get in the heat of the playoffs, you forget, you know, college commitments are kind of, they take a backseat, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
So the first one, longtime Brahma David Marabella, is committed to
Milwaukee School of Engineering
nice.
to be an engineer and play hockey. Yay,
Also the
Bella.
school
Yeah, super good school for that.
Yeah, it's a
Connor
yeah,
and
it's-
Ciso went to.
Yeah.
I believe he's still there.
Yeah.
So those two will pair up together.
I think David's a little smarter than me going to the engineering school.
Yeah,
No
he's
kidding, yeah.
he's a smart kid, and he played over 100 games for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100.
He,
I
he
wish I
hit
had
his
number.
he hit his milestone. I know he did.
I'm gonna guess 109. I'll have to look at that afterwards. I think it
Yeah.
was 109 he ended
And he
with.
was probably on 785 different penalty kills
Ah.
during the time.
Absolutely.
So-
Great penalty killer.
He probably led the team in block shots. At least was top 3. Wish we kept that.
He was
stat.
probably a top forward. in
He
block
took
shots.
he
Yeah.
took a beating.
I would say
Oh, yeah,
top,
true.
top
Defense
forward
would've
for
won that.
sure.
Yeah.
And shout out to him. He took one to the face
Oh.
in the playoffs, something fierce,
So true.
and kept on trucking.
Oh yeah, that was scary. That was like took a stick or something.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. Anytime there's something right in the middle of your face like that, it's rough. But
Yeah,
he
we
came back
can-
out, finished the game
he
as a
did.
true
He got
hockey
his
player would.
Nose stitched, wore a bubble.
Zipped up, packaged up, and back in the game.
Well, and we got some other good college commitment news besides from David Marabella, and that is forward Carson Kelly, going to SUNY Geneseo. So congratulations there to Kelly. A huge career here in Brahmaland. And, man, he's going to another great school, too, up in the Northeast. And we've had a couple of Brahmas go to the SUNY State of New York programs.
Yeah, I think if you look back at Carson's overall hockey career, he's scored big at every level he's ever played in. So we're gonna continue to expect big things from him up there.
Yeah, it'll be great for us to all keep an eye on that.
So good. So Kelly's got his school, Bella's got his school. There's more coming, I'm sure.
There are.
There's a few.
I can say that confidently.
Commitments that are
with some sass.
Gonna be made. And remember last year, Nick, we had guys made their commitments, well into the summer.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's why we aren't gonna have a full recruiting number breakdown until probably July.
Yeah.
Everything is finalized then.
Yeah,
by the way, I was off by a game. Morabella played 110.
Wow.
So I didn't
good.
I didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. I said 109. I'm very very disappointed in
That's
myself.
pretty
there.
good. I'm impressed with that.
That is really good. So now we move back to the proper version of the current story here at NYTEC Sports Center. I don't know if you can hear the pretty much awful music coming from the arena as the workers who work. There's some heavy metal emanating, and it's we've got a crew of about 20 workers right now that are working on a couple different projects. One of which is new dasher boards. For those that don't know what a dasher board is, it is the boards that the ads are on around the rink. Comes from a Scandinavian word, dash, meaning to bash. That's where the term dasher comes from. Do you know that, Megan Kim?
I did not.
Comes from the word dash, which is smashing in some sort of Scandinavian language and somewhere.
Are you making this up?
No.
Or are you I can't tell right now.
I swear to God, it's the truth. And the only reason I knew that is because I had to put together a proposal for a company that wanted to know what the term dasher was.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
Literally, I was selling a sponsorship
I just learned this.
to a company in Fort Worth, and they were really lost on the term dasher board. They wanted to call it an ad board, and I'm like, it's
not an ad
it's a dasher board.
With an ad
I'll
on.
call it an ad board if you want to call it an ad board, but it's a dasher board, and here's why. So, our old dasher boards.
Encyclopedia Chad came out,
Yes,
basically.
Yes. Our old dasher boards were from 1999. They were well past their prime. They had every time a player goes end over end and his skate hits the board or a stick jams into it, you get a little nick and cut in there, which is why the ads that go on there look pretty tattered by the end of a season. There's just a lot of marks, and so we've gotten rid of them, and new ones are going in now as we speak. We can look out the window here in Studio 25 and see the crew. Talk about a year-round job. Mark Rippey and Frank Trezera out there working.
All right.
Working on the crew, putting those new dashers in. So they're going to look smooth, and the rink's going to have a nice smooth surface to it. The ice is gone. We'll have another sheet of ice, probably a Robertson Cup logo underneath the ice.
I hope so.
I think so.
We deserve that.
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
team earned it, that's for sure.
No kidding.
The returners will love it if there even are any with how many guys are moving up. It's crazy.
It is crazy. But we needed to take the ice out and do all these repairs anyway because we have a big concert coming up this summer, folks. July 7th, the NYTEC Summer Concert featuring Tripping Daisy and two bands, TBD. Actually, TBA. TBA is more the term.
It's D, not A.
Is it D, not A? To be
no.
determined?
Well,
No, they've been
that's not
determined.
saying.
They haven't been announced.
That's why it's D and not A.
Okay. So Tripping Daisy will be the headliner. Tickets at prekindle.com. They are moving. This will be a big production for us. Definitely my biggest one I've been a part of. We'll be bringing in a stage and a video wall.
A video wall.
Video wall.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's the first we're hearing about this.
There's going to be a giant, I bet it is. There's going to be a giant video wall behind the band, and we're going to have 3,000 people here rocking and rolling on July 7th. It's going to be good stuff.
You should be one of them.
There's a good chance I'll be here as I'm running that one, so you can count me in. Nick may not be here. I think Nick has got big plans the next week in July.
I do.
What's happening, Nick?
Going to Disneyland again?
I wish it'd be a lot less stressful, I'll tell you that. No, I literally just got a text mid podcast. 44 days is apparently the countdown for me because that's when I'm no longer a single man.
Oh boy.
The good old wedding.
Boy,
it's coming
awesome.
out. I know. I might actually miss that first, the big break here at NITEX, which is very disheartening actually. But
That's good. Weddings are a good time.
oh yeah,
You'll enjoy that. And it's
Oh,
back
yeah.
in what, Seattle, where Amanda's from?
yes.
Awesome.
Yes. We still have quite a bit of playing to do, so that part's not too fun. All the big things are figured out though, but I don't like thinking about 44. I just want to already get there and be past it.
Yeah.
Melisco number of days
I
to your
know.
wedding.
Yeah.
Oh,
You should.
I should
send
have
her
Jakub do it for
You
me.
should do a countdown on your personal with just like
with
the
just
players.
with
be
the
like,
player
yeah,
notes.
just we have the pictures.
And then just don't comment at all
Yeah, just
from
that's-
29 to. Oh, no, I guess that one's okay. 29 to.
Well, 44
25.
down to 44 down to 29. 41. 41 down to 20.
You know
Wish.
There's a weird gap in there. That's what I was trying to get
Yeah.
to. That was funny.
what also will be happening in July, I believe, is NHL development camps.
Yes.
And last
July 27th to the 30th.
Well, and the draft is somewhere
Oh,
there too, right?
sorry. The NHL. They said NAH. I think meant our development camp.
No.
We have our main camp end of July.
Correct. Which you will be. It's free to the public.
Yep.
Come on out here.
Oh yeah, it's at NITEX this year.
It's at NITEX. It'll be all in the West Rink. There will be no ice still in the main rink. It'll be in the West Rink.
That'd be weird.
So come on out. Check that out. But yeah, so the NHL draft is going to happen. Well, you guys predict Vamachka is going to go pretty high. I mean, I'm sure we'll see another half dozen or so.
I think it'd be safe to be he's going to be the first current null player drafted.
I agree with that.
I think there's a couple others I guess that are floating around, but I'd be shocked
No,
if they
no,
went
no.
higher than him.
I would say he's the first null guy drafted.
Yeah.
We could potentially have a former Brahma drafted. I guess it could happen that a Brahma from this year's team is drafted. It could.
Yep.
Yep.
Not out of the question.
It would be a little bit more out of left field than, say, Cam Clark, who had, a parade of scouts here, particularly a parade of scouts from Boston here. So
Right.
it's pretty obvious that Boston was
liked
going to
him.
take him.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the beauty of hockey TV, scouts watch just about every game. Which
Well, yeah. Shout out to that.
perfect segue, Nick. Where do we finish in hockey TV rankings?
We did. We finished first. So huge shout out to the viewers there, and obviously fans, scouts, whoever, other coaches trying to scout us and figure out Dan's systems.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's cool, but that goes to show you with NHL talks is when you said you don't know people behind closed doors. They could be, I'm in Boston recruiting so and so kid, but hey, let's check out the Brahmas game tonight.
When Kupski was drafted, not once was there a San Jose Sharks scout in our building.
No.
Not once.
It was like 5 other teams, but not them.
Yeah, we're like, oh, he's San Jose, huh? Okay. That's
something.
That's flipping interesting,
Actually,
man.
the graphic that's already prepared.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, no, you heard what I did that one, right? When I was watching it, I'll never forget this too. Ironically, it was in Seattle as well when I was up on vacation with Amanda, and I told him like, babe, I have to watch my computer in the morning on the next day because it's the draft and like very good chance that Kupski gets drafted and I need to be ready. And she's like, okay, no problem. I was having a lot of fun following it. We're in the 7th round and here comes John Kupski, and I'm like, they couldn't even get his damn name right. And I was like freaking out. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like I was so in the moment that I'm like, wait, his actual name is John Kupski.
His name is John.
I was freaking out of that. I'm like, who's this John Kupski kid? And why is it not RJ Kupski? There's a little behind the scenes, but that was me delirious. That was delirious, Nick, at literally 6 a.m. Seattle time when I went to bed at like midnight.
Oh yeah, you're West Coast.
Yeah, whatever.
I know.
You went to bed at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, probably did. There's a lot going on in Seattle.
No, I had no doubt about it.
Fun city.
It is a fun city. So, yeah, there's a possibility that a former Brahma could be drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely will see.
We will keep you updated.
Or there could be former Brahmas at camps, which we'll keep you updated about.
Well, that's the thing. Development camps, for those that don't know, are just like the Dallas Cowboys have, like what's off-season training camp and rookie training camps.
Like rookie camps and things like that.
Yeah, so NHL teams will do that as well. Now you draft anywhere between 5 and 10 players a year. That's not enough to fill a camp for a rookie development camp.
No, of course not.
So you pull players in
be
from
a funny
other places.
pickup though.
Yeah, it would be.
Did we draft the goalie this year?
Crap.
Who dropped that ball?
All All right, we're gonna play bars only, guys. So yeah, I mean, in the past we've had guys. We've had Ludwig Larsson, Vidmar, Soloviev, Kupski, Clark. The list goes on and on. We've had several players at development camps this year. No doubt about it. We'll have half dozen somewhere around the National Hockey League.
I think that's pretty safe.
So that'll be interesting. So getting some NHL experience and then on to whatever school they're at, or USHL team, or Brahmas camp, wherever their destination lies is where they'll go. And then August hits and the players will report. And
we don't have very long until then. Like, I was just looking at this and I was like, it's already June.
It's crazy.
And there's a main camp in July, at the end of July, like you said, and then like literally another month, and then the players are back, and you're just like, we're back at it.
And that's the funny part too, because Megan never got that last year. Obviously, in my 3 years here, that was the earliest we ended. Was after the first round, and it's like you get some time to kind of unwind and get ready for the off-season mode and re-ramping it back up for next season. But this year it's like, and I always thought in the queue is, okay, after the draft, like the draft's the big excitement, because then you know the next team that's kind of coming in, you can kind of do some research on players, you have things to talk to about the fans and whenever they ask. But then this year it was like, we won the championship, here's the celebration, and 2 days later we're drafting our next team.
Yep.
So it is pretty funny how quick this is going to go. So if you think it's going fast now, after the draft goes, woo, put on hyper speed.
Well, while you guys were at the championship, I didn't go to Duluth, Minnesota. I was in Dallas, Texas, as we announced our concert here. So it's like, I was telling my wife as we're at this concert waiting on a big announcement for the NYTEX summer concert, and I was like, man, our season is literally going to end tomorrow, because it was the day before the championship game. Our season is literally going to end tomorrow, and I'm already working on the summer project. It's like, next thing you know, it's going to be July, and then the season's going to start. It's like, oh my gosh, we don't get a break. But that's the toils of war, I guess.
We didn't mention this really, and I forgot about it until a second when you were talking about our season. But every time I think about the fact that we won 5 straight overtime games in the postseason, my mind is just blown. I just wanted to bring that up a little bit.
That's right. Okay, wait. We looked this up. Do we remember on top of our head? Were we 15 wins, 2 losses in overtime in the regular season?
Something like that.
So I think we literally went 20 overtime wins or shootout wins this year.
I did look this up, and I didn't.
It was a lot.
Have it written down. It was a lot.
I know.
I don't remember a lot of shootouts at this building.
2, maybe.
I know Kamer had a game winner against.
Kamer had 2.
Do you have both game winners here?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Kamer time.
Hashtag Kamer time. Keep an eye on him at Michigan State.
Kamer time.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, it's been a long podcast, but there was a lot to discuss. I think we'll do it, a few times over the summer.
Maybe a post NAHL draft one next week too, or something.
Yeah,
after
absolutely.
the concert and the draft, and we'll just
recap.
We definitely wanted to do a video one this year and just never really got around to it. But maybe we'll do that next year. Do a video one. Maybe we'll.
We have to get O'Rourke on the podcast.
Oh yeah, does he not want to be on the podcast?
No, I don't think we've ever asked him. He'd be funny.
O'Rourke would be great. And you know what? You brought up a good point. We're not going to have a whole lot of returners from last year's team.
Right.
So it will be a new crop of guys to see. I mean, that's the world of junior hockey. I think we'll have 5 max?
No, we'll have
a little more than that. I think we have as many as 8.
Oh, well then that's pretty good.
Up to 8.
I think that counts Kacharik and Willis, who were technically tenders, but they were still a part of the team
they
too.
both played games.
They both played
100%.
games, yeah, so they would count as
returners.
They'd still be rookies though.
Right. Yeah, that stinks.
The
Poor guys.
No, I meant more for stats and stuff.
Yeah.
The question is, here's a trivia question. Which NAHL team that won the Robertson Cup has the most players with a last name starting with the letter Z?
It's got to be the Brahmas.
It's got to be
has
the
to be
Brahmas.
us.
Are
There's
you
no
kidding?
way.
Don't
There's
even look
no
that
way
stat up. It's got to be
anyone
the
has more
Brahmas.
than
Well, that'd be
3.
easy. Just get the cup and spin.
We should do it.
That
Yeah, we'll
requires,
do it.
That's work.
That's not hard though.
No, it'll take 2 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll do
yeah.
it. We'll do it.
That'd be funny.
Well, shout out to Zenas Zielinski.
Zimmerman.
Zimmy. Our 3 Z's.
3 Z's in a pod.
ZZZ
We need to get
tops.
2 more then.
ZZZ
That's what I said. I said we need a Z.
A
all
Z line.
I'll work on that with Dan. Be like,
And then a goalie.
yeah, I'll
Find
go
some
through.
Zachary or somebody.
Yeah, but like I want it to be last name for like full
That's true.
effect, you know, like the Z's.
It's tough though because we're losing 2 of those Z's.
I know, so we have to get at least.
We
2
gotta get at
back.
least 2 back.
Man.
Make them forwards, and we can have a Z line
You're right.
because we had the 2 D men, and they really didn't play well together. Or they didn't play that. Wrong word. They didn't play much together. Sorry.
No, they didn't play much together
Yeah,
at all.
that's true. A little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. And we did mention that. We were like, oh, it's the Z's.
Well, whoa. With that note, I think we'll leave you with the best song that we've ever heard. And this song, I think,
Oh,
you should
no.
take it with you
I know it's coming.
the rest of the day.
I hate
It's gonna be stuck in my head.
He's got a helmet on. He's got overalls on.
Stop.
Here's Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Shout out to DJ Lee Mason for bringing this to our attention.
Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Bam, 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 bam. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Bam, 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 bam. He's got a helmet on and he's wearing overalls and don't that lady look surprised? Yeah, chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.
We are the champions, my friends. Da-na-na-na. Okay, sorry.
Corpus can suck our again. All right.